Hello, good morning, and you're watching Victory Time with me, Victory Ikechukwu, as your host. A warm welcome to all our viewers all over the world. I will encourage you to tell people about this video, the past ones you have watched have been a blessing to you, so that it will be a blessing to them as well. Encourage them to like the page, to watch the past videos, and they will be blessed as well. Share this video so that it can reach out to other people and they will learn a thing or two as you, the viewer, has learned. Before I go straight into the topic I have for us today, I would like us to appreciate God for the gift of life, because you and I know that it's not one of those things. Being alive is really a privilege from God. We really need to appreciate Him for the gift of life, for privileging us to be alive despite the evil that are ravaging the whole earth. God is still faithful unto us. Father, we thank you for today, for the gift of life. We appreciate you. We say thank you from the depth of our hearts. Hallelujah. All right, that's wonderful. Let's go straight into the topic of the day. The topic I have today is titled Invest in Your Personality. Invest in your personality. Personality simply means an individual differences in characteristics, patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving. The way you think as a person, as an individual, the way you feel, the way you act, the way you behave, the way you react to things. That's what personality is all about. It means your total well-being, the real you as a person. It is also the characteristic patterns of thoughts, feelings, and behavior that make a person unique. I think it just means the same thing, just the second meaning. It all talks about what makes you different from the next person. You as a person, you are different. You are unique. You can't be me. I can't be you. There is something special that makes you unique, and there is something special that makes me unique as a person. As an individual, whether a man or a woman, you need to invest on yourself to become a better person than who you are presently. You don't need to stay there and relax. Do you know one thing about life? If you don't work on yourself, if you don't do anything on your personality, the only thing that will be changing in your life is just your age. You will be experiencing, physical changes to, show that you are advancing in age, but nothing will change. The way you talk, the way you act, the way you dress, the way you feel, the way you behave will be the same thing. And it's not really good, because there should be a change as a person. And remember, the only constant thing in life is change. So as a person, you really need to change. You really need to work on yourself. You really need to improve on some things so that you can become a better person. Okay, let's take for example, by the grace of God, I myself am a mother. Let's take for example mothers, or let's say parents. If you give birth to a child and that child is not developing, it will really be a concern to you, because first of all, that child needs to learn how to sit down. The child will be falling, and until he learns how to sit, after that is crawling, after that is standing. A whole lot of processes of development in a child. Is the same in a human. You are not supposed to be the same way you are. There should be a change. There should be an improvement from what you used to be. All right, you need to do what is called personal development. You need to develop on your personality for life improvement. You need to improve on your life. You need to change some things. Okay, let's say you're somebody that gets angry easily. You need to work on yourself on how to control that. Or you're somebody that talks, you talk out of senses. You don't really talk, the things that you need to, these are the things you need to see that say, the way I talk is not really good. I need to improve on myself. You are a woman. You need to improve on yourself on how to take care of your husband, on how to be a better mother to your children, on how to improve, a whole lot of things. The way you react, the way you handle the children, the way even you handle the kitchen affairs, the way you cook. Thank you so much, Apostle Humphrey, for watching all the way from Zambia. God bless you, sir. I appreciate you, man of God. All right, you need to work on yourself. Check the way you do things. That even do you know that there's some things you do as an individual, you might not like it. You don't really like it. Happens to me. Remember, I said God said I should use my practical example. Sometimes after talking, on my private time, I regret. I say, why did I even say this thing I said? Then you need to see that I said, okay, next time when a situation like that occurs, I'll keep quiet. I was listening to one man talking some few weeks back. He said something about, you don't necessarily need to talk when people are talking or contribute, or let's say, you have to think before you talk. And by the grace of God, my husband taught me how to think before you talk, so that what you say will be reasonable. Not that people will look at you or people will frown in your face and say, what did this person say? It's really part of development. You really need to develop on yourself. How do I talk to people? How do I act to people? How do I treat people? All these things matters. It has a lot to do with your personality. There are some things that you cannot change. Nature brought them like that. But there are some things that you need to work on for you to be a better person, for you to better the way things have been happening around you. Personal development here involves a progressive change from one stage to another. Yes, remember I said you need to change the way you talk, the way you act, the way you feel, the way you behave, the way you even dress, the way you even talk, the way you even carry yourself. Courage is really, really important. Okay, let's proceed. I'm just feeling like jumping, to what I'm supposed to talk later. But let's just proceed. I just wanted us to understand what it means to invest in your personality. You need to invest in your personality, work on your person, so that you will be a better person, so that there will be a change. Let people not see you and still see you talk the way you talk, behave the way you behave, dress the way you dress, do things the way you do. That means you're not progressing. You are still at the same spot. And as a human being, you're not supposed to be at a particular spot. You need to move. When you stay at a spot, you become a spot. Remember, you said, okay, this thing is at a particular spot, it doesn't move. You will become like that. But nobody wants to be like that. We need to improve. We need to move on. We need to advance as human. That's the way God made us. Remember the example I gave Aaron about a baby. We need a baby, to progress, to advance, to mature. Like, even at a time, you need to stop breastfeeding the baby and said, oh, now baby, you need to be introduced to solid food, the family food. It is a gradual process, but it's something that helps the baby to be mature. So as a human, you don't say, okay, I'm an adult, I'll stop there. No, you need to keep improving. You need to keep working on yourself, for your life to have an improvement. You need to really improve on your life the way you are presently. All right, I said personal development involves a progressive change from one stage of life to another. As an individual, you really need to change. I've explained this, the way you do things. It is a growth process, yes. You need to desire it first before you start to work on it. First of all, do you desire it? First of all, do you want it first? Do you want things to change the way you are? I know there are some people say, that's the way I talk, that's the way I behave, and I can't change it. No, you can change it if you want, because it's not really good. Whenever you talk, people don't like it. Whenever you talk, people get offended. Whenever you think, you spoil things. So you really need to know that this thing is not good. I need to work on it. All right, let's proceed. Learning and teaching are acts which have the power to change people. So you need to learn, you need to teach yourself on what needs to be changed in your life for your life to improve. They create growth intellectually. You need to change the way you think. Remember, I said it, mentally, spiritually, and in body skills. You need to work on yourself. You need to improve on more things to do. Okay, don't say, okay, you can say, Dr. Victory, I'm a stay-at-home mom. You maybe, there are some men that they are wealthy enough that they don't want their wife, to be working secularly or to be doing business, because financially they can take care of the wife and the children. That's fine, that's wonderful. But you don't need to sit at home as a woman and keep watching soapies, series of soapies, just not doing anything, whiling away your time. No. Do you know that this brain is meant to function effectively? And it does that by being engaged. If you don't engage your brain, you are really doing more harm than good to it. You really need to do something. You need to pick up a book and read. Involve yourself. Now, with the advance of technology, do you know that you can do a course online without paying anything? There are a whole lot of colleges and universities overseas, all over the whole world, that are doing it free of charge. Just make sure that you engage yourself. Most of them, they give a 3 months free course, and they actually give you a certificate. These are the ways to help yourself. Don't say, okay, I finished school 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, then what am I saying? No, you need to keep working on yourself. That's the way humans are. Because if you stop learning, you will start dying. Yes, you can start dying intellectually, you can start dying mentally. Sometimes you don't even know how to think. You want somebody to think for you. That is wrong. All right, let's proceed. 2 processes to develop and change. two processes that will help you to develop and change yourself, to work on your personality, to invest on you. Remember, the topic is investing in your personality. How do you invest in your personality? By working on yourself for a change, by developing yourself personally and trying to improve your life from where you are presently to what is supposed to be advancement. First of all, education. This is a process whereby a person is exposed to new knowledge and situation. This one has nothing to do with the 4 walls of education. 4 walls of a school. Remember, I said sometime earlier on that you might say, okay, I finished school 10 years ago, 15 years, 20 years ago, and why am I engaging myself now? No, you need to exercise your brain. You need to make sure your brain is active. You need to work on yourself. You need to do something that will help you. And one thing, when you engage yourself in some educational processes by trying to educate your mind more, it brings joy and fulfillment, because sometimes when you stay, you're not doing anything, it brings frustration, as if what is really happening to you. So you need to do all this to help you to be up and running. Education, remember I said it has nothing to do with the ones of the 4 walls of education. Yes, we started doing that as a child and as a teenager in high school. Maybe you would have gotten a degree or not, or if not, you keep on working on yourself. There are formal education and there are informal education. That one is formal education. That one is fine, it's wonderful. If you have the opportunity of that, it's fine. If you don't have that opportunity, you can educate yourself informally. It all has to do with you. Do you desire to change? Remember I said it earlier on. Do you desire for a change to come? Do you desire for your life to improve? Do you desire to change the way you used to be, or you just want to be a normal person? Remember, it takes an extra mile for somebody to be extraordinary. So if you want to be ordinary, you will just be like an ordinary person. But when you go an extra mile to do something different, then you become an extraordinary person. All right. Remember I said education, you need to educate yourself. It has nothing to do with the 4 walls of a school. You can educate yourself by studying, by reading books, by, going for research. But social media have made it easy now. You read every day to help yourself. Education is a process whereby a person is exposed to new knowledge and situations. So you can educate yourself, you can expose yourself to a whole lot of new knowledge and situation, and it helps to apply the knowledge you're given in any situation to bring a desired result. So that thing you have learned, you try to help yourself to change. So it has nothing to do with, I don't know this, you can help yourself if you want to. If you really want to invest on your personality, please, it's really important. You don't just sit and say, I have finished school, then you sit down there. No, you need to work on yourself each and every day. All right, let's proceed. You need to work on yourself. What can we do to change yourself? That is things that you can change when you develop yourself personally. Remember, I've just explained what you can do to change yourself. Now, the things that you can change when you develop yourself personally, when you invest on your personality, we are going to be learning few things that you will change. First of all, you will change knowledge. This is the foundation upon which skills and behaviors are built. When you try to develop your personality or invest in your personality, you will gain more knowledge. You learn to know more than you think you've done. I used to tell my husband, human resources, I say I learn every day. I learn every day from everything around me, even from helping my children to do their homework when they were even in primary school, by the grace of God, they're now in the universities. I learn from their homework, because some of the things that I'm helping them, I have a little knowledge, but now I'm learning more. So you get more knowledge when you try to invest on your personality or to change your personality. Remember, I said something earlier on about education means exposing yourself to new ideas and new situations. So now you get new ideas, when you try to change yourself by the knowledge you have gotten. Producing quality and qualitative knowledge consists of information, perception, and understanding. You get more information. You try to know more about this thing. Google have made it easy now. Anything you Google, you will see. Google how to cook, Google how to anything. So why don't you take advantage of that and work on yourself than staying the same way you are? Somebody that knew you 10 years ago comes and you're still that same person. It's wrong. It's really not good for yourself. Or somebody that have known you 20 years ago, you're still that. There are a whole lot of things that you can change on yourself, that that even you personally, is not palatable with you, don't really like, you don't really like the way you talk, you don't really like the way you act to people, you don't even like the way you sleep. Some people, they sleep, they oversleep. You can change yourself. Like myself, I make sure that I put my alarm to wake me up. There are some things that are natural. We know some people, because of the way human are, you oversleep. But you can work on yourself. You can help yourself by putting the alarm on your cell phone or on your clock by your bedside. All right, that was point number one. The things that you can change when you develop personality, you change your knowledge. With the little you know, you now increase your knowledge. Your skills, they can be improved almost endlessly through proper training and development. Talent without use is of little use. Okay, let's say you're talented to sing, you don't even sing in a choir, you don't sing, it will just die down. There are a whole lot of skills that you can learn. You can learn to improve on yourself. I am myself. Nobody taught me how to do confessionaries. I went to the internet. I helped myself. I can make confessionaries for the family use. You see, these are the things. That's why I said with the advance of technology, now social media has made it easy. A few days ago, I bumped into, how to, they call it the simple way of dressmaking. Wow. So if you can get a sewing machine, you can learn how to make dresses. So these are the things you can just help yourself. Instead of staying, do you know one thing about life? If you're not doing anything, if you're dormant, you get frustrated, you get tired easily. You really need to do all these things to help yourself. Attitude, things that change when you invest on your personality. I said you improve more on your skill. Maybe if you don't have a skill, you get a new skill. Yeah, or you have already, you can work on it, you can improve on it. Then, firstly, I said knowledge. You will increase on the knowledge you have. You will improve more on it. Now, the third one is attitude. This is the condition of the mind that determines how we see things around us, how we react, and how we interact with the environment. So when you work on yourself, you will be able to work on your attitude. Remember, I explained it somehow earlier on, that sometimes the way you act, the way you talk to people, the way you relate to people, you don't really like, you're not comfortable with it. Then you can change by trying to work on yourself, by trying to make amends, by trying to say, how do I change this? How do I do these things that I don't like? How do I stop it? Then you can do that. All right, the point number 4 is behavior pattern. How we behave is the sum total of the thoughts, the attitude, the interests, and values that make up our lifestyle. When you try to invest on your personality, your behavior pattern will change. Your thought pattern, the way you used to think, will change. The way you used to act, your interests, what interests you. There are some places that you will go, you didn't really benefit for anything. Why am I going to this place? Is it because other people are going? Is it because I was invited? But what will I really gain? Or what will I give? These are the things that you need to think. So there are some things that you do, they really don't benefit you. Now you can change. All right, the will. Remember the things that will change. Knowledge, you will change. First of all, the little knowledge you get, you will advance more of it on it because you have decided to invest on your personality. Secondly, your skills. Even if you don't have the little you have, you will improve on it. All right. Thirdly, I said the attitude, your attitude will change because now you really want to change. You really want to invest on the way things are on you that you don't really like. You really want to change, effect change, and that change will come. Point number 4, behavior patterns. How we behave, you will now try to change the way you used to behave that is not good. The will. This is the faculty of the mind that determines whom we obey, take instruction and direction from. Now your will change. There's some people, they say they have a strong will. Nobody can change them. They don't want to change anything and all that. Now you can change it right now because you know that your strong will is not taking you anywhere. It's not effecting any change. All right. Spirituality. Your spirituality will change. Spirituality has to do with knowledge, skill, attitude, behavior, and will that are affected by spiritual conditions. Spiritually, you will now change. Either you don't really have a stronger solid relationship with God. Now you try to make amends. You are not being serious with your spiritual life. Now you try to improve on it. You don't pray the way you used to pray, or you don't even pray at all. You can improve. I said I used to pray 5 minutes. I can improve by praying 10 minutes or more. I am not serious with my spiritual life. I am not, in connection with my maker. Now you can improve on it because you really need to improve on your relationship with your maker, our heavenly Father. All right. Man's spirituality can either develop to where he or she accomplishes the expected role at both physical and spiritual being, or it can stagnate at the stage of immaturity. I will explain right now. Your spirituality can either develop or underdeveloped. It has to do with you. Are you interested in it? Do you have the interest for you to develop, for you to change the way things are? Then it will change. But if you are comfortable with the stage of immaturity where you are, you're not mature, you don't even understand what we're talking about when it comes to your state of spirituality, then it really has to do with you. But if you really want things to change, you really desire for an advancement and you work towards it. All right. There are some self-imposed limitation in personal development. That is, these are the limitations that you impose them on yourself, that make you not to work on your personality, that make you not to develop yourself, that make you your life not to be improved. This is things that can limit you in trying to develop or work on your personality, which you cause by yourself. Wow, this is wonderful. To be successful in life, we must all work to eliminate those those self-imposed limitations that are stunning our development. Stunting means like you can say stunted growth, something that is not growing the way it should. So you find out that you're not growing the way you should. So, but these things are the things that you impose on yourself without knowing. No matter who you are, there are self-imposed limitations that you contend with, and they are: number one, procrastination; number two, blame; number three, excuses. I will just explain them right now. These are the things that make you not to develop. These are the things that make you not to advance in your improving yourself, because you will always procrastinate. Okay, I want to start reading a book. You said, oh, okay, I will start next week, I'll start next month. Before you know it, a month has finished without you reading a single book. Okay, I want to engage in this free online study course that will give me a certificate at the end of 3 months, and you find out that the 3 months has elapsed and you didn't do anything. This is procrastination. You keep procrastinating, and it's a big problem. Procrastination is a big problem. Please don't procrastinate what you're supposed to do today for tomorrow, because when tomorrow comes, you'll still move it to the next day. Before you know, you've not done anything. So these are the things that are self-imposed. It is you that is causing it. Nobody it is. Sorry, nobody is the cause. You are actually doing it yourself. You keep saying, okay, I'll do it, I'll do it. It's just like, say, let's say, I always use my example because I'm a mother, and I'm in charge of the home. When you tell the children eat and wash the dishes, they will eat and keep piling up. Before you know it, the whole sink is full with dirty dishes. I know it will be a problem, because by the time you look at it, it's so much. But that time you ate, maybe let's say with 1 plate or 2, you would have washed it off. Maybe a plate or 2 with cup and cutlery. You would have washed them and keep them. Now, when you eat again, it will not be there. It's just that one you use. But procrastination means I'll wash it later, and it keep piling up. It's the same. Anything that you want to do that will help you improve on yourself, if you keep moving it, if you keep pushing it, you will not accomplish it. That was point number 1 on your self-imposed limitation. That is the limitation that you imposed on yourself. Nobody imposed them on you. That make you not to develop yourself, that make you not to improve on yourself, that make you not to advance in life as you're supposed to be, so that the person that met you 10 years ago will not still come back and still meet you at that same level. Is not really good. Point number 2 is blame. The blame game. We like blaming. Oh, okay, blaming my background. I came from a poor background. That's why I'm not making it. Most of the rich people on earth, they came from a very, very, very humble background. Very, very poor background, if I may say that. So don't use blame. Don't blame your father. Don't blame your mother. Don't blame your husband. My husband is the reason why I'm not ready. My children, I'm taking care of them. That's not what. No. Your children cannot be the problem. Your husband cannot be. So stop blaming. Blaming your boss, blaming your superior, blaming your supervisor, blaming whoever that you think you can blame. Stop blaming. Blame makes you feel so relax. Okay, I'm blaming them. They are the reason why I'm in this stage of life. My background, I didn't come from a rich background, this and this and that. It makes you feel cool, but it's wrong. because anything that you need to do that you know you're supposed to stand up and do, while you're blaming, you feel good about it, and then you're relaxing, not doing anything is wrong. You really need to work on that blame. Blame is not good. The final point is excuse. We like giving excuse. One thing about human, we feel relaxed. We always manufacture excuse. Why didn't you do this? No, you need to take responsibility and stop using excuse. I didn't finish this topic today, but I think by the grace of God, next week I will now do a part 2 of investing in your personality, and then it will help us to understand it more. But this is why I'll be saying goodbye today. I'll be saying goodbye today. Keep a date with me, same time, same place, as I bring another inspiring teaching that will help you live victoriously in your everyday life. Remember, Victory Time is always the time I bring teachings that will help us live victoriously in our everyday life. I'll be right back with you, same time, same place, next week, Wednesday. Have a blessed week ahead of you. Bye.